whenever you're trying to find an angle, see if you look at some of the problems under here, you see how there are like two sides, like on number 1 how there's a 6 and a 9, on number 2 how there's a 12 and 13, and the thing that's missing is the angle. Okay? There's something different that you do whenever you're missing an angle. Okay, so first of all, on these first problems, well, let's fill in the blank. It says to find a missing angle, we use the inverse, trig function, sine inverse, cosine inverse, and tangent inverse. Okay, let me show you where that is on the calculator. If you'll notice above the sine, cosine, and tangent, above it there's like a sine blue with a -1, and then a cosine, and then a tangent. If you're trying to find an angle, you press second, the blue button, and then you press whichever one that you have to use, and I'll show you how to figure it out. And then you have to put in some kind of fraction or whatever, and then it'll tell you what the angle is that way. Okay? You only use that second and that blue part of it when you're looking for an angle. Okay? So, in those first problems right there, it's just to remind you that let's label the triangle. That little O thing is called a theta. This is opposite, this is hypotenuse, and this is adjacent. Okay? So sine of the angle would be 4/5 because that's opposite. Cosine of the angle would be 3/5 because that's adjacent. Tangent of the angle would be 4/3. And if I use the calculator and I put second sine and then 4/5, it's going to give me an answer. If I do second cosine, then 3/5, and then second tan and 4/3. If you do any one of those, it does not matter which one, you're going to get the same answer, and what you're going to get is 53.1. Okay? And that tells you what that angle is. So let's look at number 1 down below. Alright, first thing we do is label the triangle again. O is across from the little angle symbol. 9 is H because that's across from the 90. And the 6 is A. Okay, which two sides do we need?
Angle.
Adjacent and hypotenuse. So using sohcahtoa, we need cosine. So we're going to write cosine, because we don't have an angle, we're just going to write that fancy O, which is a theta, equals A/H. Okay, so what am I going to put in the calculator to figure out that answer? Second cosine 6/9. Okay, questions about what we did there? So very similar to what we've been doing, except you don't have to cross multiply or anything. You just have to figure out which one you need and do the inverse. Okay, so look at number 2. The O thing, there's opposite. Across from the 90 is H, and the other one is A. Looks like we need A and H again. So that means cosine. Which one comes first? The A or the H? A, because that's what it says. Cosine is A/H. So 12/13. If you had that backwards, it's going to tell you error, so you need to be careful. Make sure you get it the right way. Cosine to the -1 of 12/13 is 22.6. Alright, look at number 3. So if I label the sides, this is O, A, and H. So we have O and A. So which one are we going to use? Sine, cosine, or tangent? Tangent. Tangent, because that's O and A. So tangent of the angle is 3/3. So in the calculator, I'm going to put second tangent or tangent to the -1 of 3/3, and you get 45. Let's look at number 4. If we label it, this one's O, this one's A, and H. Looks like we use tangent again. So tangent of the angle equals 4/13. You have to make sure that you put it in the right order. Like you have to put the O first and then A. So in the calculator, you're going to put tangent to the -1 of 4 over 13. And we get 17.1. Okay, on the last one, if we label, it doesn't actually have anything labeled. Let's just say we want to find B first. So this would be O, and then A, and then H. So we're going to say tangent of B is 4 over 7. So tangent inverse 4 over 7. And you get 29.7. The question says to find all the angles. So I found B. I know C's 90. How can I get A without having to do anything like tangent and sine and cosine? Right, so I can take 180, subtract 90, and subtract that 29 number, and I will get 60.3 for my final angle.